How you doing? It's Sandesh here, and I made to do a video on an article on Infowars, and it's about Kamala Harris, and it's called Five Things That Most People Do Not Know About Kamala Harris. Anyway, before getting to the article, if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble and Odyssey, and TikTok as well, if you don't mind, please. I'm going to get into it now. Who is she? Even after serving as the Vice President of the United States for more than 3 years, Kamala Harris continues to be somewhat of a mystery to most Americans. She will soon become the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, and with that title will come a tremendous amount of scrutiny. Will the American people like what they see once it passes under magnifying glass? The national spotlight can be excruciatingly painful, and that is especially true if you have lots of skeletons in your closet. In this article, I'm going to share a few pieces of information that I gathered. The following are five things that most people do not know about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has number one. Um, Kamala Harris has earned a reputation for treating her staff very poorly. This could be explained by almost all the staff members that she hired during her first year in office are now gone. Only for the initial 71 staffers hired by Harris and during her first year in office still remaining in a job. The rest either quit or were fired, according to analysts by non-partisan watchdog Open the Books. I think it's the same with Biden as well. A lot of his staff just like upped and quit because they knew this is just such a train wreck, and I gather it's the same thing with her, and also because the fact she's nothing, she's just corrupt. That translates to a 92% staff turnover rate, and say critics is a likely sign that the issues on Team Harris have more to do with her than anyone else. During research for my recent Harris biography, Amateur Hour, published in January, the horror stories I heard from many of her former employees and read about in numerous reports shocked me. Terry McAteer has a long history in the world of California politics, and he recently authored a piece explaining, what his son Gregory experienced when he worked for Harris as an intern. Senator Harris vocally throws around f-bombs and other profanity constantly in her berating of staff and others. The staff is in complete fear of her, and she uses her profanity throughout the day. As Attorney General, Senator Harris instructed her entire staff to stand every morning as she entered the office and say, "Good morning, General." Never once during the month-long internship did Harris introduce herself to our son, as he was only in an office with 20 paid employees and staff, and was too intimidated by her to introduce him. The only acknowledgement was a form letter of thanks signed by Harris given to him on his last day of service. Gregory was also given instructions to never address Harris nor look her in the eye, as that privilege was only allowed to senior staff members. Number two, Kamala Harris goes to church. Many people are surprised when they learn this. She has been very close to the pastor of St. Francisco's the Baptist Church, um, Amos Brown, for a very long time. Unfortunately, Brown has a long track record of making radical anti-American remarks. Harrison Brown, the longtime pastor of San Francisco's Third Baptist Church, have known each other for nearly a quarter of a century, and two have remained close throughout her vice presidency. In June of 2023, Harris posted a picture of the two to the vice president's Instagram account and described Brown as an inspiration to me always. Less well known, however, is Brown's history of radical anti American remarks that have elicited blowback even from San Francisco Democrats, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Number three, Kamala Harris has a name that is full of meaning. Her middle name actually means goddess, and her first name is another name for the Hindu deity Lakshmi. Um, Dr. Gopalan gave her daughter the name Kamala. I didn't know that didn't know that she was Indian, but that doesn't really make a difference anyway. I mean, she's still a fucking idiot, don't matter. Um, Dr. Goplan gave her daughter the name Kamala, which means lotus in Sanskrit and is another name for the Hindu deity Lakshmi. In part to help preserve her cultural identity, the vice president's middle name, Devi, translates to goddess in Sanskrit, another tribute to the Hindu religion. A culture that worships goddesses produces strong women, the late Gopal told the Los Angeles Times in 2004. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Lakshmi is a goddess that is a very important figure in Hinduism. Lakshmi, Hindu goddess of wealth and good fortune, the wife of Vishnu. She is said to have taken different forms in order to be with him in each of his incarnations. Thus, when he was the dwarf Vamana, she appeared from a lotus and was known as Padma or Kamala, both of which mean lotus. When he was the axe-wielding Parashurama, the destroyer of the warrior class. She was his wife, Dharani, when he was King Rama. She was his queen, Sita. In the most widely received account of Lakshmi's birth, she arose from the churning of the ocean of milk, an important event in Hinduism, seated on a lotus and holding another blossom in her hand. Controversy arose between the gods and demons over possession of her. Number 4. Kamala Harris is a passionate supporter of the Green New Deal. Needless to say, this is probably not good news for the U.S. energy industry. As a U.S. Senator, Harris was an early co-sponsor of the Green New Deal, a non-binding blueprint for transitioning the country to 100% clean energy within a decade. The Green New Deal was first introduced by Rep. Alexandra, ALC, and Senator Edward Markey in February 2019. The climate proposal was also included job guarantees for displaced workers and a call for a national healthcare system. In 2019, as a candidate for president, Harris unveiled a plan to spend $10 trillion to reduce greenhouse gas emissions with a goal of getting to a zero-emissions economy by 2045. Number 5. During a recent interview with CNN, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren explained that Kamala Harris will create a pathway to citizenship for those that have come into this country illegally, during an exchange about how voters have given Harris 59 and President Biden 81 poor marks for handling the border crisis. Warren argued that the onus is on Congress to tackle it. Recognize, and I know that Kamala Harris knows this. This is a problem that ultimately has to be solved by Congress, she told CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. I believe we need to create a pathway to citizenship. All of that is part of what we need to do for comprehensive immigration reform. Kamala Harris will work with immigration and get that done, she went on. Yeah, I remember, and she also said that she'll be willing to give them healthcare benefits to illegal immigrants as well. I mean, that pretty much tells you where her priorities lie. Once millions of new voters are added to the system, how will that change the balance of power in this country? This is something to think about. This has already been an extremely chaotic election season, and I believe that events will soon become even more chaotic. Both sides are absolutely determined to win this election, and there'll be a flood of negative emotion from whichever side ends up losing. So I'm very concerned about what is going to happen during the months leading up to the day of the election, but I'm even more concerned about what is coming after that. Anyway, yeah, Kamala Harris, and also when she when she pretty much had a famous debate with Tulsi Gabbard, and Tulsi Gabbard just pretty much ate her alive in front of everyone, and she pretty much didn't know what to say. I mean, she just told every single truth about all the corruption that Kamala Harris pretty much is. Yeah, I mean, that was just fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, and on TikTok as well, if you don't mind, please. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.